Here at Chinchilla, Grandfather Clock Open Draft is on, and Steve Sheppard joins me. Firstly, Steve, welcome back.
Thank you.
And congratulations on 91.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I actually changed my mind on a steer, and I don't know really why, but ended up with a good one, and the horse did the job on him, so I was very happy.
That's a cardinal rule. You never change your mind.
I know. It's the first time that would have ever happened that has paid off, but yeah, it was good. But they've been a great line of cattle, so there's always something in the yard to pick from what I see. So it's good.
Chinchilla done a great job here. As you said, a great line of cattle. They've done terrific, especially with the cattle donors. And you can't have a draft without the cattle donors. But the cattle donors only come if the committee do the right job as well. It's sort of this rotating circle that everyone sort of feeds everyone, and that's how it all works well.
Yeah, the committee is doing a great job. I see the hay they've got out in the backyards there. It's fantastic hay. The cattle are well looked after. The fellas in the backyards are doing a fantastic job presenting the cattle. They come into the yard nice and quiet. You just can't fault it. It's been great. And for the season that we're having, it's an amazing job to get a line of cattle like this. These cattle have got plenty of energy in them. They seem well handled. It's been a great morning so far.
You're the Vice President of the ACA. You must be proud when you come to drafts like this and just see how well run they are, how well the cattle are looked after, the arena, the grounds. We know what happened here last year, and they still were able to get the draft done and won. And you must be really proud of how the camp drafting world is actually going.
Yeah, it has. It's probably evolved a bit over the last few years. I guess there's a huge focus on animal welfare, cattle and horses. So. The surfaces that we run on now, committees are putting a lot of work into getting a surface right, trying to present cattle well, keep them on feed. Everybody is pulling their weight really well, and it's just great to see.
It is great to see, and like as I keep saying, like as a person on the outset, the one thing I love just watching here at the minute, people riding around together, talk together, you all compete against each other. But I think that is the greatest thing about camp drafting is this camaraderie, if you like. You're all out there to beat each other, but everyone encourages, everyone watches. If you're tossing up between two beasts, you might tell the person next, you're going to take this one, just watch that one, then they'll come back and say, yes, you took the right one or the wrong one. It's a unique sport, isn't it? Yeah,
it is, and you do see that. It's probably more obvious when you get a good line of cattle that you'll see people sitting beside the cutout yard picking cattle for each other because they're not afraid that they're not going to miss out, like there's going to be cattle there when they ride in. So, that part of it is great. We're very lucky to have the people around us that we have around us, so you can pull up and have a yarn and a beer with everyone, and it's a fantastic event.
And it is a very, very good lifestyle, and I encourage people that if you haven't been to any drafts at all, get there and have a look, and it doesn't matter. I was at Rich River 2 weekends ago. It's the same thing, definitely not as many competitors as there is here, and it's a little bit different, but the same. At the end of the day, everyone's rooting for everyone. They're barracking, they're standing back, helping people out, and I know on that occasion, people down here, up here, might find it a bit sad, but it was wet there, so just trying to get some of the horses into the yards, they had to go for a big puddle, so people trying to get them into the camp out the back, there was people helping them. If their horse could go through the water, they'd do it. You just take these things for granted, you guys do, but I tell you what, when you watch other disciplines around, especially equine disciplines, I think it's awesome. Yeah,
it is, and also like the committees and the helpers and everything, it's all volunteer. The whole organisation from top to bottom is a volunteer-based organisation, and I think that's what makes it, really. I don't think the sport would be anything like it is if it wasn't volunteer-based, and I find that really pleasing that people put a lot of time and effort aside to help the sport along, and every weekend there's cattle donors, committee members, a lot of work goes on behind the scenes all the time, and it's great.
You enjoy your role at the ACA?
Yeah, I've been in it now for 14 years or something. I've been Vice President for a fair while. It's been great. I've learned a lot. It's been a really good journey. I'm hopefully towards the end of it a bit and someone else can have a bit of a go, but it has been very fulfilling, yeah.
Do you enjoy the way the sport's heading?
Yeah, I do. I think we're heading in the right direction. We've got a great group of young people coming through the ranks now, with the special starter clinics, youth camps, that sort of thing. I think the education out there now for young people starting out in the sport is readily available, and we're keen to continue with that as much as possible. And I can see a huge future for it.
Steve, thank you. Thanks for the chat. You run away from the microphone. You're not meant to do that. You're just meant to stand still, but that's okay. But no, thank you very much for the chat. Congratulations on the 91 as well. I haven't measured because I'm not saying you're going to win, but it's just a great starting point. But it's a little bit like the Restricted Open yesterday. I think it was about a 91. I think maybe an 88. He's getting through it. So it's still tough going. Like, just one good score is not going to do it for you, is it?
No, definitely not. There's a long way to go yet.
Yeah.
There's lots and lots of great competitors here, and yeah, I'm lucky enough to be up there, and we've just got to try to do it all again, twice more.
Very good. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much for joining me.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, man.